Hello everyone, welcome back to all of you and welcome to the weekly video for my Patreon group, the Smelly Army Private Members Club. Thanks to all the new people who've joined recently, and hello again to everyone who's been in here for a while. So the subject of the video tonight, another sort of unedited informal one, I hope that's okay, is going to be 5 fragrances that I'm going to take away on my summer holiday. So I've made a top 10 summer fragrances list already on YouTube, and even a summer holiday fragrances one, so it's being a bit gratuitous there, really trying to get some more and more top 5s with the summer theme. But these actually are the ones that I'm going to take, and they don't really in many cases have loads to do with summer, or they wouldn't really make it in the stereotypical summer or summer holiday fragrance list, because in reality the seasonality thing with fragrances is not that big. So when I go away to a hot place for a week or two, I might take some fresh fragrances, but I'll also take things that are a bit more heavy and dark anyway. So let's get into that in a moment. Before that, quick update on my life. So as you may know, I've been looking to find somewhere to live. I'm at my mum's place at the moment. So I've actually put an offer in and had it accepted on a house down in Kent, in Rainham in Kent, which I'm really excited about. It's a 2-bed terraced house. Quite small in terms of the front, and there's not massive curb appeal, but it's a nice street, and it's got a really nice open plan front room, which is very me, and I'll be able to get all my Mr. Smelly pictures from the old days that I used to have up, or that you sometimes still see that when I'm shooting upstairs, and I'm really looking forward to that. 2 bedrooms, it's an actual house, and down there you can afford stuff that is, would be 2 or 3 times more money around here near to North London, because the house prices are ridiculous here. So excited about that. The other thing then is, of course, I've decided, but not booked, decided that I need to go on a summer holiday. I'm single this year, so it's just going to be me. I've never done that. I've never gone on holiday on my own, but I think I kind of need to do it really, to sort of usher in a new period. When I guess when I get back, I'm soon going to be moving into my new place. So I want a summer holiday. If anyone's got any great recommendations of a place to go, I want to stay in Europe, stay somewhere that's not too far for me to fly. I don't like long flights, and there's so much of Europe I've yet to see that I feel there's plenty still to explore. If anyone's got a great recommendation, and any recommendations about going on holiday on your own as a man in his 40s, I don't really want to go on like a group holiday to meet other people and all go snowboarding together, or horse riding, or mountain biking. I don't want to go on some themed group holiday. That is not for me, but it would be nice to go somewhere where I might have some interaction with other people. Any tips, gratefully recommended. Anyway, let's get into the list of 5 that I've picked out, and there's a couple of new-ish ones that I haven't really talked about, and some old favourites too. So let's kick off with a new acquisition, and I'm really excited to get this one. Actually, it's only a 12ml sample, but that'll do me for now. And this is Invasion Barbar by MDCI Parfums, a really famous, usually referred to as a barbershop fragrance, and maybe the Barbar in the title there's a play on words. These are the official 12ml samples that you can get from MDCI, which I think are a really great way of doing it. And I've got a little posh atomizer upstairs that I bought on a whim a couple of weeks ago, and it has a 20ml size. I was thinking, what can I get to put in there, and I went for this, so bought it on a Facebook group. Lovely, beautiful actually, powdery, kind of sweet lavender, sort of barbershop, sort of fresh scent, but with this powdery sweetness and this kind of milky feel. Some of the notes I think include bergamot and lemon, grapefruit I think in the opening. There's patchouli, there's vanilla, there's a lot of lavender, and I think it's the cardamom that gives it this almost kind of a milky, creamy feel. I would call it an oriental fougere, kind of a neo barbershop scent. Certainly some lavender in there too, but it's not a stereotypical old school scent. It doesn't smell much like Rive Gauche Pour Homme from Yves Saint Laurent or that kind of thing, or even Fougère Royale from Houbigant. It's a little bit more sweet, and so hence the oriental tag, I guess, the oriental fougère. But it is really, really lovely, and a different take on the idea of a fresh, slightly retro leaning, but with a little bit of modern niche stuff. It was a 2005 release, and it's an absolute classic. I don't have the fancy bottle with the bust, or even the bottle without the bust, but that 12ml will do me for a while in my fancy little atomizer that I'm going to get. Moving on then, another one that I definitely want to take on holiday, and that one doesn't have, it's kind of fresh, but it's not massively, it's a tropical, sunny weather type fragrance thing about it, so it doesn't really matter about weather and fragrances really, but this one would fit with the summer holiday vibe, and this is Cologne Blanche from Christian Dior, and one of their sort of private range, or I've forgotten what they're called now, the exclusive ones from Dior, discontinued now, and so hard to find. But I got a 50ml decant a couple of years back, and I've hardly used it, which is a disgrace because it's beautiful. It's sort of, in a way, like the Dior version of Neroli Portofino, but with a much more interesting and clever twist in it, because it has this slightly soapy citrus feel, but a really unique and wonderful note of almond, giving it, again, this slightly almost milky feel. It smells kind of like a baby powder or even a talcum powder kind of feel, mixed with this sort of bittersweet almond and a lovely element of citrus freshness. It's a really, really unique and incredibly fresh, clean smelling fragrance, but somehow they've incorporated this slightly milky kind of almond, just a really comforting and happy smile on your face kind of smell for really, really hot weather. So looking forward to that wherever I go. Don't know where I'm going to pick yet. Gran Canaria maybe is a place I've been to a few times that I love. So the Canary Islands in Spain, it's always really hot there because they're pretty much level with Africa. There they are, they're off the coast of Africa, so very, very hot climate down there, and it's not too long of a flight to get there, or maybe somewhere else in mainland Spain. We'll see. Anyway, moving on, Cologne Blanche. Let me know if you've tried that one. Also, let me know in the comments down below if you're going on a summer holiday this year, or any holiday coming up soon. Depending where you are. If you're in Australia, it's a winter holiday, isn't it? Anyway, let me know if you're going on holiday, and if so, what fragrances are you going to take? Moving on then, another one that has nothing to do with stereotypical holiday smells, a new acquisition, very excited about this one, and this is Mouchoir de Mouchoir from the house of Givenchy. Label not showing up too well there, but there it is. Mouchoir de Mouchoir. Now that means the gentleman's handkerchief in French, and this has been out since 1904, and it is a very, very interesting, very gentlemanly fragrance from the house of Guerlain. I love the bottle design on these, absolutely fantastic. Picked this up for about £50 on eBay. So it's not one of the high-end, really expensive Guerlains, but it's a true classic, and that was a bit of a discount price. I think there's some citrus and stuff in the opening. The note listing is sort of almost a bit like every other fragrance. I think there's lavender, but I'm not sure. There's definitely cinnamon and vanilla. I think patchouli. Iris is listed as well, but what you don't really get mentioned, but is certainly there, is a slightly animalic undertone with this one. I think a lot of people are saying civet. Many people say that it has comparisons with Jicky from Guerlain, which I found a little bit much in the kind of poopy baby's nappies smell. But this one, I love the citrus. Sprayed some in the lid. There is a really nice citrus, a definite Guerlainard thing, the sort of Guerlain base that are in so many fragrances. There's an element of that sort of vanilla bitterness combination that is really nice. It's somewhat powdery, a little bit dusty and stuffy and old-fashioned, and there is this hint of a slightly kind of animalic thing, but it's so subtle and sort of nice and musky. I mean, these notes are included because they're sensuous and maybe sexy or sexual, and I think this is a really interesting masculine fragrance that I would take out and maybe wear on a night out. And I found wearing it last night, I only got it a couple of days ago, the dry down gets really interesting and a nice sort of soft, powdery, musky base that I really enjoyed. So Mouchoir de Mouchoir from Guerlain is definitely one that I'm going to try and take away, probably for the evenings in hot weather, that one. Next up then, another niche fragrance, and this is Colonia from Rasai Fort, which I did an unboxing of a while back, and I think it was in my spring top 5. What an incredible fragrance this is. So Rasai Fort, the man behind Fort and Manly fragrances, some of which are really good. Borzhnikov, one of my favourites that I have. And this is just called Colonia, themed after the story of his reminiscing about his childhood days with his grandfather, where he could smell his grandfather's cologne on his shirt mixed with some of the floral and herbal and citrusy smells in the Turkish countryside. And this is just incredible. The note listing has sort of everything under the sun in it, so I'm not even going to try and go there. But Luca Turin, the famous critic, mentioned that it is an iris-themed scent, in his opinion. It definitely does have that Dior Homme-esque iris note in there to an extent. There's also a really nice green earthiness mixed with a kind of warm and sweet resinous quality for a real kind of all-round, it could really be a signature scent. There's freshness, but there's also some warmth and depth and richness, a bit of sweetness, greenness, herbaceous notes. I mean, it's a bit of everything in the kitchen sink, but it really, really works, and it's beautiful, and it's just a delightful smell. Very hard to describe, actually. I think there might be a bit of a tobacco twist in there, just a subtle one. Kind of powdery again in some moments when you smell it, and it's one of those, depending how long it's been on your skin or just what, comes in into your mind every time you smell it changes. Really complex stuff and a fantastic scent. I think he only made it one batch, and he's saying that's it. But if you can get your hands on a sample or the whole thing. Colonia from Ras, I thought, again, not particularly like a summer holiday fragrance, but I'd wear it in the evening and I'd wear it in the daytime too on a summer holiday. To be honest, when you're lounging by the beach, it doesn't really matter much what you wear. Things tend to burn off. I might take one or two other really obvious freshies like Fico d'Amalfi, Acqua di Parma, or maybe this one. And well, this one I am going to take, and this is Monsieur de Givenchy. I'm nearly at the bottom of my modern bottle of this 50s classic. So here's my vintage one, probably an 80s or 90s bottle, and it's a classic, I think a Chypre fragrance officially, 1959 release. Lovely citrus aromatic type top notes, bergamot, probably lemon, lots of herbaceous mids in there, perhaps a bit of lavender, and then this oak moss in the base and some really nice masculine woodiness, comparable perhaps to Chanel's Pour Monsieur. Slightly prefer this. I think apparently it was Freddie Mercury's signature scent, a classic gentlemanly cologne style fragrance that would be great for the daytime in hot weather when you don't want to go for the obvious, Acqua di Gio modern type smells, which are nice, but this is a different way of doing things. It's got that real classic, beautiful, old school bergamot type of opening that I recognise from the older fragrances with bergamot as opposed to the modern ones. It doesn't have any of this kind of modern ambroxan stuff to achieve its effect. It smells much more natural than many modern designer releases. So loving Monsieur de Givenchy. Let me know, guys, if you have a holiday planned, what fragrances you're going to take. These are my 5, and they're not the stereotypical ones at all, so I hope you'll forgive me and you don't think that all my summer holiday top 10 lists are a complete lie. Those are suggestions of what would be great if you want a stereotypically or a fragrance that makes you think of summer or seems obviously the summer holiday type. But these are the ones I want to take some that I don't wear that much, and in a lot of cases these fall into that category, except the Monsieur de Givenchy. Anyway, that's enough of that. Thank you ever so much for watching. Look forward to answering your comments down below, and whatever you're doing in life, let's project.